A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant political maneuver, President Donald Trump is set to sign the big, beautiful bill this Friday, marking a pivotal moment as the 2026 midterm elections loom on the horizon. This sweeping piece of legislation has ignited a fierce debate among various stakeholders, particularly Hollywood activists who are gearing up to challenge the proposed cuts to vital social programs like Medicaid and nutrition assistance. Alongside a substantial increase in funding for immigration enforcement, the bill also signals a notable rollback of clean energy initiatives, drawing ire from climate advocates and influential figures like Elon Musk. The primary objective behind the Republican push for this legislation is to extend the tax cuts that were enacted during Trump's first term in 2017. With a focus on bolstering border security and defense spending, the bill also introduces sweeping changes to tax deductions, notably increasing the cap on state and local income tax deductions, SALT, from $10,000 to $40,000, albeit phasing out for those earning above $500,000. Additionally, the legislation preserves the pass-through entity tax workaround while ensuring that the SALT cap reverts to its original limit by 2030. However, the Congressional Budget Office has projected that this legislation could add a staggering $3.3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. Amidst these financial implications, the bill includes provisions that could significantly impact the entertainment and media sectors. For instance, it adds sound recording expensing to the list of Section 181 tax deductions, allowing artists and producers to deduct 100% of production expenses up to $150,000 in the year they occur. Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. hailed this as a monumental victory for independent artists, emphasizing the support it provides to the music industry. Another key aspect of the bill is its authorization for the government to auction off valuable spectrum for commercial use, aiming to raise $85 billion. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr stated that this move would foster job creation, spur innovation, and expand high-speed internet access for more Americans. However, public interest groups have raised concerns that this could compromise unlicensed spectrum availability, specifically impacting faster Wi-Fi access. In a nod to the arts, the bill allocates $257 million for restoration and security at the Kennedy Center, a national cultural arts center that has been under Trump's scrutiny since he took office. This funding contrasts sharply with the president's calls to eliminate the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for the Humanities, both of which support cultural programs nationwide. The passage of the big, beautiful bill represents a significant legislative victory for Trump in his second term, with the House narrowly approving the bill by a vote of 218 to 214. This success comes in the wake of House Speaker Mike Johnson's efforts to rally support among Republican lawmakers, many of whom had previously expressed reservations about the bill's provisions. Trump is set to celebrate the signing of this landmark legislation at the White House during the 4th of July festivities, flanked by key lawmakers and military aircraft flying overhead. He has touted the bill as a landmark achievement, claiming it is the largest of its kind ever signed into law in the United States. However, the bill is not without controversy. Critics highlight that it could leave nearly 12 million Americans without health coverage over the next decade, as it imposes cuts to Medicaid and food assistance programs. The Trump administration, however, has disputed these claims, asserting that the bill will ultimately reduce the deficit by over $5 trillion. The legislation also introduces stringent measures affecting immigrants, including refugees and victims of trafficking, who may find themselves ineligible for federal benefits like Medicaid and SNAP. Additionally, the bill allocates $45 billion for the detention of undocumented individuals by ICE and provides $46.5 billion for border wall construction, fulfilling a promise that remained unfulfilled during Trump's first term. As the bill heads to Trump's desk, the political landscape is charged with anticipation. The implications of this legislation will likely reverberate throughout the 2026 midterms, as both parties prepare to leverage its provisions in their campaigns. With Hollywood and various advocacy groups gearing up to challenge the cuts and funding shifts, the big, beautiful bill is poised to become a focal point of political contention in the coming years. As Trump prepares to sign this monumental legislation, the stage is set for a fierce battle over its consequences and the future direction of American policy. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.